The Buffalo Bills have had one of the most intriguing NFL drafts from this season, not only adding Maxwell Haristen, a super athlete, but also TJ Sanders, another super athlete on the interior of the defensive line, and guess again, a super athlete in Landon Jackson. Guys, we're going to break down every single one of these picks, the good, the bad, the pros, the cons, everything you need to know. We got you guys covered. Now, before we dive into the video, comment down below a letter grade of the draft so far, and what positions do you think they should target next. These are going to be a combination of all the videos I dropped today, so if you haven't seen them yet, get ready. Let's talk about the draft. And here we go. The Buffalo Bills trade up to 41 and are selecting South Carolina defensive tackle TJ Sanders. And they traded 56, 62, and 109 to Chicago. And in return, they got 41, 72, and 240. So obviously a big trade up for a guy they really wanted here in TJ Sanders. And in this video, what I wanted to do was break down everything you need to know about this dude right here. Now, before we dive into the good, the bad, the pros, the cons, everything you need to know, do me a big time favor, Bills Mafia, hit that like button. But more importantly, comment down below P2, okay? This will help me understand that, yeah, you guys are enjoying these videos, but more importantly, you want more going forward. And lastly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Free, doesn't cost anything. And with that being said, let's kind of dive into TJ Sanders as a player. Now, the first thing I do want to point out, when you look at this Buffalo Bills defense, you see Ed Oliver, right? You see Daquan Jones, you see Greg Rousseau, Joey Bosa. This defensive line looks like it could be really good. They also added Larry O from Pittsburgh, but we just saw the Philadelphia Eagles give you the blueprint. How to win the Super Bowl. You need insane depth, insane playmakers coming off the bench, rotating in, and being able to get pass rush, right? This is a guy who can get to the quarterback at a high level, at an 81.9 pass rush grade in 2024, but also was a really good run defender as well. Now, when you look at his true pass set rush grade, it was a 90.3, which means this guy is a true pass rusher. This guy has quick off-ball instincts. He's got pad level success. But this is a guy that I think is going to be a difference maker. Now, he did have 5 sacks this season, 5 sacks last season, 19 hurries for the quarterback, right? I think he's going to fit in perfectly with this Buffalo Bills defense, who, for being quite honest, were not good last year when it came to getting pressure on the quarterback, ranked 20th in the NFL when it came to QB sack percentage. So right away, I look at TJ Sanders at 6'4", 290 pounds, only 21 years old, about to be 22 in a couple months. This is a guy who is a true 3-tech type of interior defensive lineman with the lateral quickness and the ability to disrupt the A gap, the B gap, even the C gap. This is a guy that could be a full-time starter and to be a really good player. He's got quick hands to engage and get off blocks. He's got plus arm length for the interior, competitive third down player, which means you might be able to play him on every single play. Explosive first step laterally in, literally some twitch for a 290 pounder, long arms for pass breakups. I love this addition, right? Does not hold up well against doubles. That's fine. Not a lot of people do. Could finish tackles or sacks better. Listen, that's something you can get better at. So the cons are things that you can improve on. You can be coached. So I'm all in on this Buffalo Bills trade. I like this addition. I think he might slot in as a day one starter for them, or someone who rotates in early and then becomes a big time starter alongside Maxwell Haristen. Love what they're doing right now, man. And here we go again. The Buffalo Bills back on the clock are adding another really good player, this time in Landon Jackson, a defensive end or an edge rusher, whatever you really want to call him. But you've already seen the Bills make some really good pickups, right? TJ Sanders on the interior of that defensive line adds a lot of versatility. You also add Maxwell Harrison to the outside boundary, a guy with top end speed, right? But now they bring in a guy in Landon Jackson. Now, you can tell the Buffalo Bills are taking a page out of the Eagles book, right? The blueprint, how to win a Super Bowl, have insane depth along that defensive line and be able to have guys come in, rotate in, and still establish a really good rush to the quarterback. Now, last year, this Buffalo Bills team ranked 20th in the NFL when it came to getting to the quarterback, and ranked 22nd in the NFL when it came to stopping the run. Landon Jackson is a guy that is a monster run defender and really broke out at this year's NFL Draft Combine and the Senior Bowl as well, right? Now, before we break down even more analysis on Landon Jackson, do me a big favor, guys. Hit that like button. Comment down below part 2 and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. And we will be covering the Bills all year long. Now, with that being said, let's kind of dive into a little bit of the fundamentals and what he adds as a player. Now, the first thing you look at is the build, right? The height, the weight, the speed, everything that Landon Jackson brings is just NFL talent. 6'7", 280 pounds, 22 years old, a fundamentally sound player. He's got great strength to hold and pull blockers at the line of scrimmage. He's got great flexibility, and he maintains good leverage despite, the smaller frame, which I don't know why it says smaller frame. This dude's 6'7". Small frame doesn't even make sense. Oh, despite taller frame. Okay, I was about to say, long arms make for an extensive tackling radius. Again, this dude is a very short tackler, okay? He had a pass rush win rate of 11.2%, which we want to be a little bit better. It's not bad by any means necessary, but if that can improve just a little bit, that would be huge going into the NFL. And not by any means is he a bad pass rusher, but more importantly, he's someone that can stop the run. And once again, we go back, they rank 22nd towards the end of the NFL in terms of stopping the run, yards allowed per carry, 14th in terms of rushing touchdowns allowed per game. This is a guy that might not be a day one starter over Greg Rousseau or Joey Bosa, but adds insane versatility, situational player that can develop into a 3-down player at the NFL level. So with that being said, I love Landon Jackson. I love this fit, and I love the player for the Buffalo Bills team, who is adding insane depth at the defensive line, the front 4 position, and I'm all in. So the Buffalo Bills have just added a key member to their defense going into next season. With the 30th pick of the NFL draft, they have selected Maxwell Haristen. Look at this Buffalo Bills defense secondary, for example. We look at Christian Benford, who we like. We look at Tre'Davious White, who they just brought back in free agency. They have Teron Johnson as well. From there, gets a little bit dicey, right? You have Dane Jackson. You have a guy like Jamarcus Ingram. You have Cam Lewis. But there's not much depth behind those starting caliber guys. Now, Maxwell Haristen, I think he's a really good player with potential to be a dynamic, versatile. I mean, let's look at him, right? 6'1", great, frame as a cornerback, 186. Now, he's a competitor. This is a guy that wants to be the best, okay? This is a guy that's going to work. He wants to bump and run with that wide receivers. He wants to play, in press coverage at times, but he's also a zone-heavy type of corner and has a chance to be a cornerback 1 in the NFL. Now, when you go through his pros and cons, the one thing they love about him is tackling ability, right? Being able to not be afraid to make hits, being fearless in the run game. And when you look at the Buffalo Bills last season, they actually were one of the worst NFL run defenses last year, 22nd in terms of stopping the run. Now, adding a cornerback that wants to tackle is a good thing. Okay, he's also a very good communicator. Again, this guy's a competitor. He wants to win games. He's going to do whatever it takes to win games. So not only are you getting a guy that's fearless in the run game, but also wants to communicate to his teammates, wants to make sure everyone's in the right position at the right time. He's going to be a high IQ type of player, which I love. Good understanding of run fit duties. Again, we know that adequate first step quickness and acceleration. Good. Need to keep up with these fast wide receivers like Matthew Golden. Very light build. Again, can put on some muscle. That's not a big deal. Hands get grabby when he's in trouble. Okay, we don't want to be in trouble. Don't want to be in trouble. Don't want to be in trouble. We need to fix that. Lacks true anticipation. Again, this is something that you can kind of develop over time. Can look out of control at times. Need to fix that as well. High interception total was more about opportunities than true ball skills and anticipation. So basically, they're saying got a little bit lucky. I don't buy that at all. I think this is a really good player in a really good fit here in Buffalo to learn behind some of these guys, especially Tre'Davious White, who was an all-pro corner at one point with this Buffalo Bills team. I mean, he was nasty. So overall, I do think he needs to get better in certain areas. Coverage grade can be a little bit better. I think if you stick him in zone, he's going to be outstanding. Run support, it doesn't show that he has a good grade, but a very good tackler. knows his instincts, knows where he needs to be, and this guy had a really good 2023. If this was his last season in college, he would be like a top 10 pick. I'm telling you right now. He had a bad 2024, but the reason he was drafted so high, I guess you could say in the first round, is because that potential showcase last year. Only played 7 games this year, only played 297 snaps. This is a guy that can be elite. So I love this pickup. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next Bills update. If you guys want him, let me know.